Hey guys, how's it going? I know it's been a while since I made my last podcast, but not gonna lie, I got kind of sidetracked. Now, as a quick recap, I got the job in San Francisco, and honestly, I've been having a really great time here. I've actually been in the city for a little over a year now, so I'll make another episode going into further details of what happened during that time. But today, what I wanted to talk about was the challenge that I gave to myself to not go back home for the entire year. So now that that entire year has passed, I finally decided to visit home again. Hey guys, and welcome back to Vicarious, the podcast where you can vicariously live your curiosities through others. Now, if you guys didn't see episode 3, that is the episode where I initially talked to my mom. I highly recommend you listen to that first. Since then, I've been in San Francisco for a little over a year, and I'm finally going back home. So I just got out of the plane. It's been exactly a year since I've been back to Toronto, and I'm gonna be seeing my family. I'm actually super stoked. Can't believe I'm back. So that's me finally landing in Canada after a long flight 1 year later. And to be honest, it was kind of strange. It felt like it was really warm and welcoming. Like even the people working at the airport, they would see that I have a Canadian passport and say, "Welcome back." I remember walking through the airport and seeing all the super familiar Canadian brands, whether it's restaurants or banks, and that made me feel even more at home. After what felt like way too many checkpoints at the airport, I finally got out and saw my sister and my dad. As I'm walking toward her, you could hear my sister kick off this reunion with an epic melody. Oh, see my family.
아이고 우리 아들
아이고 오랜만이네.
멋져졌어. 더 멋있어졌는데.
아이고. So this next part is me and my dad catching up in Korean. He's basically saying, I look much better. I don't look as skinny as I did in the photos. I think my parents thought I was malnourished to a certain extent while I was in San Francisco, so I guess that's a compliment. It was honestly really nice being able to see them and just catch up with them again.
야, 간만에 이렇게 올려다 보니까 그냥 이상하다.
키 더 커진 것 같아 왠지.
아니야 그런 거 같진 않아.
It was late at night and we were finally driving back home. As the city lights passed, I couldn't believe that I was finally back in Toronto. To be honest, I thought that when I came back, everything would feel like the same. But I could definitely notice that things were different since I left. When we finally got home, there was actually a lot of people. My mom had invited some of her friends, my aunt and uncle were there, my cousins were there too. It was a pretty hectic reunion. Wow, I haven't been back here in a while. 안녕하세요. 오랜만이야.
아유 세상에 야 너 키 더 커진 것 같아 나. 아, 세상에 잘 지냈어?
네네네.
아저씨 인사해.
안녕하세요.
그래 반갑다.
네, 잘 먹겠습니다.
진짜 키 크지?
I gotta say, it felt so good to see my family again. 안녕하세요.
이모부.
이모부?
이모는 안녕 못해. 아니 이모는 안녕 못하니까 좀 이따 얘기해.
So after everyone went home and things settled down in my house, I finally got a chance to talk to my mom. Hi mom, how are you?
하이 아들.
I was gone for 13 months, a little over 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
So then in the year that I was gone, with that extra freedom, what were you up to? What were you thinking and what were you doing?
When you're gone, I feel so free because
I did my best when we lived together, right? When you stay home, I did my best. Food and cleaning and everything. I supported it. But after you gone, my work is much less than before. So I have more time for me. It was good.
So basically, it was a good thing that I left you.
Oh,
You got
yeah,
more
of
time.
course.
You
Yeah,
got
yeah.
less work.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, good to hear. Did you miss me?
Of course, I miss you, especially Christmas time. The Christmas time, like a holiday, means family gathering, right? But you are not here. We cannot spend time with you. So I miss you so much. So I remember I asked you a few times, come home, come home. But you said no because you said don't come back in 1 year.
Yeah, I didn't come back because you told me to stay away for 1 year.
So I regret what I said that.
I think for me, a really weird time was New Year's because we usually do New Year's together as a family. But first of all, we were separate. But you're in Eastern time. I was in Pacific time. So I called you and said Happy New Year's when it was 9 o'clock for me. So it didn't really feel like New Year's. So that was kind of different for me.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So I'm probably not gonna come back like fully for at least another few years. I'm probably gonna live in the US. Who knows what else is gonna happen in the future. Do you have any advice for me?
Go and do whatever you want. Yeah, it's you only have a 5 or 10 years for yourself. After that, you have to take care of your family, and take care of your more job. You're not gonna have a more free than now. So as long as you have a freedom, then you can do everything, whatever you want. You go, you do, and whatever. Except the dangerous things.
Don't do the dangerous things. Everything else is okay.
Everything else is okay. Yeah.
Anything else you want to say?
Well, I'm so proud of you because it's not only your success to get a good job in US, but you became perfect person to live by yourself.
I thought it was really nice that she said that because at the end of the day, it wouldn't have mattered if I got a job in the US or if I completely failed and I ended up coming back home. I think it's the change and improvement that really matters. In this case, from my mom's perspective, it's the ability to live independently and on my own that I've gotten better at. I think as I continue to put myself in situations where I'm uncomfortable or in situations that I don't know too much about, I think I'll get slightly better each time and become a slightly better version of myself.